You know what one of my pet peeves with video games is nowadays? When the characters in a video game never stop fucking talking! Seriously! How many times have I played a game where the cast of characters will never shut the fuck up? And it's becoming more and more common with every passing day, and you see this with so many games now, it's unreal. And the thing is, I'm not against storytelling. I love JRPGs, don't get me wrong, I love myself some JRPGs. I play games like Grandia 2, which has tons of great dialogue, like amazing dialogue, phenomenal dialogue, and I love every minute of it. Like, I'll talk to every NPC just simply to get more of that wonderful dialogue. And you'd think that most games would have that, right? Unfortunately, they don't. Unfortunately, most dialogue in games is fucking terrible. I mean, there are exceptions, obviously, Grandia 2 is an example, but most dialogue in video games just sucks. And it's a problem. Now, there are numerous examples of games that do this. I mean, I'll give you one example. Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky is notorious for it. Another game that I find notorious for it is Tales of Vesperia, where you'll go into a dungeon and then suddenly every single party member will be like, "Oh wow, this cave is covered in crystals! Oh, yeah, I thought I was the only person that saw that! Oh yeah, like, I just noticed that too! Oh yeah, this place is covered in crystals!" And then there'll just be someone arguing or having an argument, usually Rita just bitching about something about all that, and then kicking Carol, and Carol will start whining, and then you finally move on through the fucking dungeon and actually play the fucking game. That's one example of too much talking. All this little small talk that they put in these games that is just completely pointless and doesn't need to be there. That's one thing that really bothers me now, and it bothers me now more than ever. Like, there's so many games that have this problem. So many, particularly JRPGs, but even outside of JRPGs you have this problem. I'll give you an example. Shadow Warrior 2, where you have this bitch talking to you while you're playing the fucking game. And this isn't the only time that you'll see this. There's so many games where you have comm chatter, or someone talking to you from miles away. Like they just basically got this microphone and they're kind of like in a call center just talking to you or something along those lines. Like, the worst one for this is Red Faction, because like, you never see them. Or maybe you'll see them once and then you'll never see them again. It's just like they're talking to you like they're your busy mates. And you don't even know who they are, and they're not there to help you, they're just there to talk your ear off. It's just like, why even put them there then? It's just like, why do we have Cortana in Halo? Why is she there? Why can't Halo just be silent? There's an art in being silent, people. And I think a lot of game developers have forgotten this. Silence is an art form. Silence makes an atmosphere. Just play Painkiller and you'll see exactly what I mean. You go in the first area of Opera House and it's just complete silence. Except from, obviously, like, the echoes of, like, the opera singers in the background and the, like, ambience. But that's besides the point. Like, it's all about taking in the atmosphere and the ambience. If you can't make the dialogue good, at least make the atmosphere good, you know? That's what you should be doing. There's quite a few games out there that actually do a good job of not having too much dialogue while still being able to tell a relatively good story. I mean, you've got Devil May Cry 3, for example. That game doesn't have much talking at all. Like, believe it or not, there's not much talking in the game. There's a bit, don't get me wrong, but whenever there's talking, you're not really paying attention to the talking, you're actually paying attention to what's actually going on screen, because the characters are usually doing some crazy stuff. Like, like crazy choreography on the fucking screen while they're talking. And it means that you're paying more attention to what they're actually doing and their actions rather than their words. Obviously, you have their words and stuff, which it is still there so you understand what's going on, but they don't talk too much. Instead, they focus more on the choreography and the action, and they just get straight to the point. And that's what I like about Devil May Cry 3, because the story just gets straight to the point, and I love that. The player isn't stupid. Sometimes you can express things better with other means besides dialogue. And whenever you can, you should, especially in a video game, because video games are a visual thing and not just a dialogue thing. You're not writing a novel, you're writing text for a character to say in a video game. So get to the bloody point. Seriously, just get to the point. You're not making a visual novel, you're making a video game. And that's the point I wanted to make. I mean, I'll give you another example. Valve Profile 2 is my favourite game of all time. Why is Valve Profile 2 my favourite game of all time? Because the story gets to the point. The thing is, there are quite a few cutscenes in the game, but the dialogue is minimal. Like, you will have cutscenes that play in Valve Profile 2, and there's a lot of moments where there's not really much talking, as opposed to games like, I don't know, Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, where people are just talking constantly and you just drowned in dialogue and you're just trying to figure out what the most important parts is. Valve Profile 2 focuses on the most important parts. You don't get any dialogue where they're just saying, nice weather today, oh yeah, great weather, oh yeah, we just entered this dungeon, it looks great, it looks wonderful. There's no moment in the game where the dialogue is a complete waste. All the dialogue in Valve Profile 2 has a purpose, it's there for a reason, there's meaning to it. It doesn't waste your time with needless dialogue. And the thing about it is, outside of cutscenes, there aren't any dialogue, really, aside from talking to NPCs. If you want, you can read the biographies of the Einherjar, but that's optional. So the game doesn't really force you through sitting through too much dialogue, and instead it lets you take in all the atmosphere, all the ambience and the music, and lets you enjoy the fights and stuff like that. But when the story is told, it means something, it's impactful. You don't need to start talking every 5 seconds. Just let the player take a break from the talking, let the player take everything in. Let the player take in the atmosphere and everything else, because sometimes that can be more important. Sometimes that makes all the difference when you let the player take everything in, when you have that silence and don't have the talking, and you just let the player take in all the music and the ambience, and also that feeling of solitude, particularly in the likes of Painkiller, where you're on your own in this demon-infested world, and when all the demons are dead, it's just you and that's it around this unholy landscape, and you're just roaming through it, and it's such an amazing feeling. You don't get that in games today. That's what you're missing in games today, people, and it pisses me off. So yeah, we need to get rid of all of this talking once and for all, people. It's seriously a problem. I'm not talking about games like Grandia 2. I'm not talking about every single game. Some games have dialogue that's actually decent, and that's not a problem. It's when the games have too much dialogue and they force you to sit through that dialogue when it becomes a problem. So yeah, anyways, that's all I have to say. So yeah, see you guys.